Good morning and welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac Podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, the 1010XL app. We are live on Facebook and we are also recording here inside the 1010XL podcast studios. We will share it all over the place, including on the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. And they can catch this show and a lot of other talent all at 1010XL on YouTube and beyond. Brought to you by my good friends at Team Tommy Mac, a great group of businesses that I love endorsing, not just on this show, but on social media, as well as in my business development expertise. What does that mean? I like connecting people, and I connect Team Tommy Mac when called upon. We've got a lot to get into today. We'll be heading out to OTA practice for the very first time. Get a chance to look at the new team under Liam Cohen and company. Looking forward to that. I am going to be on Jaguars today, this morning, tomorrow morning, and Friday morning, filling in for Mike Dempsey all week. Looking forward to that. We got a lot to get into. And by the way, I have found another two-way player. Yep, it's not just going to be Travis Hunter this year. I've got another guy that I think can play both ways, but we'll get into that. Take a look around the NFL, including the future of Logan Cook's contract, because it's going to be absolutely through the roof, and he deserves every bit of it, in my opinion. We'll get into that and much more, but let's say good morning to Grammage. What's up, Graham?
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Not bad.
Good
not bad.
weekend?
Yes, sir. Great weekend.
Beautiful weather. I mean, it was hot, but man, was it just gorgeous out, wasn't it?
Tough to complain when you live in Jacksonville, FLA, during Memorial Day.
Yep.
Get the extra day, get to honor those fallen soldiers, which is great.
No doubt.
Got a lot of family time in yesterday. Actually,
Good.
both sides, the wife's family as well as mine. We made 2 stops.
Got to
yesterday,
do it. Yep.
So that was good. The 2 days before she was working, so I was just chilling at the new place. We just moved into a new spot, so I was just hanging on the couch, watching sports.
Nice.
Enjoying life, dude. Whenever with some buddies. Enjoyed that. So
we had a great
weekend,
time
man.
as well. We celebrated my daughter Kelsey's 21st, our great friend and really family, Ava's 21st birthday. We did go to Lemon Bar, did go to Pete's, so did all that.
Nice.
Did go to Monkey's Uncle for
As
a little
the
bit.
McManuses are known to do.
Absolutely, yeah. We love the corner. We can't wait for our youngest to get of age and join us as well. She's missing out on a lot of good times, but we had a great time. Ended the day or the weekend last night with my in-laws and my mom over. My 94-year-old got her out of her place, and she came up and we had a great time. So out at OTAs today for the very first time. I'm looking forward to it. Listen, I keep hearing speed, which we're going to see that, which, look, you got to have great speed if you're going to do anything in the National Football League. There's no doubt about that. But I'm looking forward to seeing a few different things out there. Of course, I always go to the big guys because I just want to look at them. D-line, O-line, I just want to see what they look like. And I know what they kind of look like, already, but just to get a feel for them, watch them move a little bit. I like watching the O-line move when they do their drills. I like seeing how physical these drills are, even without pads. Like, how physical are they hitting the sled? Are they really getting after it? That kind of guys holding the pads. Is it just kind of touch and go, or is it really, come on, let's see you get in there, drop those hips, extend those arms, get me a good punch. Looking forward to seeing, the new speed on offense. Travis Hunter, of course. De'Ami Brown. Looking forward to seeing him run around. The running backs, looking forward to seeing them. And Tank and Etienne. And of course, I want to see Trev. I want to see, how he's throwing the ball. And everyone made a big deal about the non-throwing shoulder. I don't know. I'd be more worried if it was a throwing shoulder. The non, it's... you come through, you go forward with it, you lead with it, but you're not like throwing the football. So I never got too concerned about, he's first back. I love people, he missed a couple throws. Well, it's his first throws back since the non-throwing shoulder surgery, that affects those kind of things. Being facetious, of course, but nonetheless, look, I'm not getting too carried away either way. I've said that before. Good or bad. This is where they're working on. New regime. I want to see how the coaches coach. I do. I want to see how interactive Liam is across the board. I want to see Campanile and how he runs his defense and how he's barking things out. I'll tell you what, I remember last year, all I heard about Ryan Nielsen was fiery guy, fiery guy, fiery guy. First time you go out there, he's not yelling at anybody. Just like, and not that you have to yell, but I'm expecting like this fired up defensive coordinator, and he's kind of just talking. And I was like, okay, that's a little, I was expecting different. I want to see the energy. That's all we've been hearing about, this new energy, right? This new young, and I love it. I'm all for it. I want to see it. I want to go feel it for the first time. I want to go look at it and just get that excitement. And then we'll go from there,
You could go last year when you were, because I went out there a bunch last year.
Yep.
OTAs and training camp. You could go, an hour plus throughout the practice and not even, notice Nielsen in any capacity.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
I don't want my defensive coordinator, I don't want that to ever be the case.
Yep.
I want that guy to be all over the place. And to your point, it doesn't necessarily mean yelling necessarily.
Right.
I'm sorry, sometimes an NFL defense coordinator should yell.
Yeah, they have to from time to time. Now, if I may just cut in real quick, Dick Duran, our defense coordinator in the early and mid-'90s, he wasn't a yeller. Now, he was a 12-year NFL defensive back who, all-time, interception, not leader, but in that grouping, Dick Duran had a phenomenal. So his respect level was, when Dick spoke, you listened, you paid attention and you did what he said. If he yelled, which he very rarely did, and Don Capers didn't yell, at least not in front of me. Or in team meetings and that kind of stuff were out when I saw him on the field. But to your point, you don't have to yell, but you got to kind of be known, seen and understood. But Ryan was kind of, you're right. He wasn't out in the forefront. He kind of blended in.
There's a certain aura that a defensive coordinator should
totally
have.
agree with that.
And
totally agree with that.
And the last two guys didn't have it at all.
No.
And no disrespect, Caldwell was clearly better than Nielsen was, but both of them just didn't have that kind of thing that just makes a DC. You know what I mean?
Like Gus Bradley is a DC. He's a good DC, right? Yeah. Jack Del Rio as a DC, really good DC. These guys are fired up. They're into it. Right. By the way, to me that just is contagious energy. You know what I mean? If my coach is fired up, well, what is it? I can get fired up.
Yeah.
I think you need your coach to get you fired up, but if he's getting a little reckless, maybe so can I get a little reckless, on that edge. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I agree with you overall. With the coaching, that's the number one thing I'm most excited, because I won't be out there a lot this year, but I'm most excited to hear about is what is because this is the first time we'll get to really get a good taste of the coaching style.
Yeah.
What is, how are practices generally organized? Doug always had well organized practices. I never felt like they were wasting time.
No, not at all.
It just
very
wasn't
crisp.
They were very crisp. It just wasn't that
physical.
That intensity that needed to be. That kind of. It never had that edge.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how that turns out. I need some of that, and I would love, Tommy. This would be so encouraging to me if at some point in, be it OTAs, training camp, what have you, some point before the season starts.
Yep.
Maybe it's a period, and maybe Trevor doesn't have a good period. Okay, maybe he throws a pick or two or whatever. Which every quarterback in the league will have bad. Mahomes will have a bad period in training camp at some point. Right?
Drake May supposedly threw 4 in one team period last week.
Literally every quarterback in the league will have some type of time before the season starts. They will have a rough period or whatever. Right.
Yeah.
I would love nothing more than to hear okay, and Liam really got on to Trevor about X, Y, and Z or whatever. I would love that.
Yeah.
Because I think, as much as we believe Trevor can do it, I don't know that he's ever really been coached that way, especially in the NFL. And I think that a little bit of tough love, I'm not saying sit there and tell him, that's not what I mean.
Yeah.
And you understand what I'm trying to say here.
I do. And I think to a degree they already have, because remember Trevor came out with his weaknesses not too long ago about his, his techniques and his, flipping the hips and pointing the feet. Well, that just didn't come out of thin air. That came from the coach. Yeah. So you think, at least to me, that's him already sitting down this is what we have to work on.
That's
right?
a closed-door conversation.
You got a ton of talent. We love you, this, blah, blah, blah. But this is what we got to work on. And it's true. They do need to work on that, and I think they are. And I'm looking forward to seeing that part of it. as well.
We saw, and by the way, this isn't just a Trevor thing. Like we saw with Tootin, that he immediately was like, "Oh, put the ball on the ground."
You can't wait. Poor kid. I mean, not poor kid, man. I don't feel sorry for him. He can't do it again.
But Cohen,
you got to get rid of that. No, he did.
Was a good sign of.
We need that.
Yeah, Cohen's this upbeat, positive guy.
Yeah.
But he's not saying that publicly if he's not like, no, I'm holding these guys accountable for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Well, we didn't feel. Look, again, no shot on Doug. I get what Doug's philosophy was, right? You guys do it. Like you're grown men, you're professionals. I shouldn't have to discipline you. I shouldn't have to do any of this stuff, right? You should do it. But you got to have a locker room full of guys that can do it on their own, and they didn't. So it didn't work. I say it all the time. The GM's got to fill that locker room with guys that respond positively to the way the coach coaches. If they don't, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So anyway, that was then. This is now. It's interesting. Trevor. Now this show's not about Trevor. We're going to cover him plenty this offseason and during the year. But I saw where he made a quote about Brian Thomas Jr. Did you see that quote about? We did a great job setting them up, mismatch, and all this stuff, right? In the slot, outside, yada, yada, yada. I'm like sitting there going, wait a minute, last week you said that it's refreshing to have an offense that doesn't, dial us up for success. What are you talking about? Was there? That sounds like success to me, the way they used Brian Thomas Jr., no? I think so, and it did happen way too late, and it's too bad it didn't happen with Trevor. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they can do together. But it's just a little contradictory how you went from, no, we're really, everyone knew what we were doing to, wow, they did a great job setting his ass up. It's, you just got to be careful what you say out there, my man. That's all, because it's always out there. That's for sure. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this defense. Listen, number one concern on D, going in, do they have enough beef in the middle? Just, do they have enough beef? I love Mason Smith. I'm hopeful Eric Armstead turns it back into that 3 technique that he was in San Fran. That's going to be a humongous boost for this D-line. Jordan Jefferson coming up and, developing. Do they have enough beef? I don't know that answer. I don't think they do. I would have liked to seen a 1 technique, a nose tackle, a big space-eating guy that can move a little bit, and maybe they still add. It's only May or coming up on June. Maybe they add. But, man, I would like a bigger, on the rundowns, this guy is going to keep that center and guard occupied and let my linebackers roam and make hits. I don't think we have that. Mason Smith is going to start at that, it looks like. And look, this guy's a monster of a human being. I love him. I think he could be great. I think he's a better 3 technique than a 1 technique, which means over the guard and one-on-one and not having to face the double teams all the time, although they do from time to time. I'm worried about him getting too tall. He's 6'5" or whatever he is, 6. He's a big guy. Big guys, when they get tired, they stand up. We've seen that, so... I want to make sure that we've got that kind of beef. Because let me tell you something, as a former backer, you're only as good as these guys in front of you. I mean, when those linemen keep those D linemen keep those offensive linemen off you, or at least slow them up a bit where you can just go by them and not have to take them out unless it's coming right at you. The ball's coming right at you. I mean, it makes your job so much easier.
Yeah.
It's like a running back with a line. You know what I mean? The line makes the running back's job a lot easier. Hey, boys, just give me a little crease. Just give me a little bit so I can get through and make something happen. Same kind of deal for backers.
I think to put what you're saying in Jaguar terms, I think, and I totally agree with you, I think Mason Smith, if Mason Smith were to realize his potential and hit what we think is his ceiling, he's more Calais Campbell, Malik Jackson than Marcel Darius.
Yeah, agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not calling him Calais Campbell, but you get what I'm saying.
Gosh, those 2 together were fantastic.
Insane.
Oh,
but you get what I'm saying? Like, he's more, okay, this guy's combination of size and power is something that almost any guard is just not going to be able to handle one-on-one.
Not consistently.
As opposed to this guy is just a stalwart that doesn't move in the middle, and a center and guard together still can't move him off his spot.
Right.
So it's just a different player. And I totally agree with you. Tommy, we've been doing the show since 2021.
I know.
We're still begging for this.
No, I know.
We're still begging for this.
And I see people online, well, D. Ham. I'm like, D. Ham.
No, he's not.
He's not the guy.
He's not.
He hasn't shown that he's the guy. I'm flashing. And I know you'll be out there, well, he was ill and he was sick. And okay, I understand that. But even last year, man, he He would make plays on occasion. There's no doubt. All of them did. And Lacey did. Ledbetter did too. They all made plays, but they also got pushed down the field way too many times. And Deham's a massive human being too. He ain't massive like Mason Smith, but he's a big guy. And he played 3 technique. Look, coming out of Ohio State, I was very excited for this young man to make a difference. He had 6 sacks coming from the inside position of the Ohio State. Now, granted, he had Bose on the outside, but still, he was a force in that inside tackle position. And that just shows you, like, college is college and the NFL is the NFL. It's different. It's harder. These guys they're just as big, strong, and fast. And I know this, man. If you're not in great condition, and today you got to, can we at least agree on this? You got to condition on your own. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You're only going 1 practice a day. You better be doing extra stuff throughout the week to make sure your wind is top notch.
And those practices are only so long.
They can only go right, and they can only condition you so much. You know what I mean? They try to use practice as conditioning. And in the heat, it is, but at the same time, and I'm not talking like we used to do, like 12 100s. I'm not talking like that. But a few gassers, couple gassers, there and back for time. Like, let's go, sprint, let's race, let's see who's the fastest.
At the end of practice,
man.
Yeah.
I don't got to kill you, but I got to make sure that heart and lungs, because God knows what you're doing back at the apartment. I don't know what you're doing, but regardless, we are going to exercise those things and make sure they are ready to rock and roll.
I think Devon Hamilton, Tommy, is a classic example of actual good versus Jaguar good. We've had that conversation before, and because Devon Hamilton, we're not saying Devon Hamilton sucks.
No, not at all.
We're not saying he doesn't belong in the league. We're not saying he cannot be a good contributor on this roster.
Right.
I think Devon Hamilton can be a very solid player on this Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line. That said, if he is your starting nose, if he's your starting 1 technique defensive lineman, you do not have a dominant nose.
No,
you don't.
He hasn't shown.
You don't have a guy, and we talk about this all the time. The litmus test to me is always, you always have to put it in the other team's shoes. Is this a guy that keeps offensive coordinators and offensive line coaches up at night?
No.
Not one O-line coach is like, Devon Hamilton.
In his defense, he's not a nose. He's not built to be a nose. He's just not. He's not.
I think he's a true defensive tackle in a 4-3.
Yeah.
That's to me what he is.
A 3 technique.
Yes.
Yeah, they got a lot of 3 techniques. Yeah. Even Jordan Jefferson's more of a 3 technique. That's what Mason Smith's a better 3, or if they were in a 3-4, a better 5 technique. He'd be a monster 5 technique in a 3-4. So I don't know, man. Well, hopefully they don't need it. Hopefully we're wrong, but like we've been saying, we've been trying to get a nose tackle in here for many years. And I remember at first Doug just kind of, we're good. And we're like, man, you're not good. I'm telling you right now, you were not good. I will say this about Devon and the rest of the crew. So we know who the top tier is, right? Then you got Jefferson, who we don't know about yet. You got Devon, you got Lacey, you got Ledbetter. Devon, other than Jefferson, because I haven't seen enough, D-Ham's ahead of the other 2, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
In my opinion. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's take a look around the National Football League real quick. Because 2 things I've found. One is a 2-way player other than Travis Hunter, and another is the future for our punter, because the Raiders punter just got paid. Now the highest paid punter in the league. We'll talk about that in just a minute. NFL Look Around, brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Check them out, TommyMac.net. They're always there for you when needed. Hopefully nobody needed to get out of jail after Memorial Day weekend. But if you need to get out of jail, or someone that you know does, call 904-822-2245 and get out of jail today. Hopefully it's not too late. Now it's still in the morning. It can probably help you. Chris Lucero's Bail Bonds, always there for you when needed. Carpet Man Flooring for all your flooring needs. Hey, man, you never know. You have a little pipe burst, you got to replace the carpet, you got to replace some tile. You call Carpet Man. You sure do. You go to carpetman.biz or go to his 2 locations, one on St. John's Bluff Road and one in Orange Park. the highest quality flooring at the lowest prices. Hopefully you didn't get injured this weekend, playing flag football, playing, kick the can, whatever you were playing, naked twister, whatever it was, and you got hurt. Well, you call Morgan & Morgan, because they are the largest injury law firm in the entire world with the resources to handle your case. Go to forthepeople.com. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling for all your junk removal needs. Listen, you got to move. You want to disperse some things. You want to kind of filter some things out. Let J-Dog come in and they'll take care of it all. They'll refurbish as much as they can and help families in need. Check them out at jdog.com. The Azar Sausage Group company, well represented in this weekend's festivities, because we had a low country boil. And guess who brought the sausage? That's right, I did. And it was fantastic. Hot and andouille. It was absolutely great, whether in your favorite dish or in a bun. Azar Sausage is the one. Get your kids out of your hair this summer and into Code Ninja summer camps, because you're going to learn all about coding, all about technology, all about security, everything. And they'll build their own video game while they're, and they get them outside running around and condition them a little bit. That's right. 5 great locations, all in Northeast Florida. Check out CodeNinjas.com. Hey, you want to get away for the night, the weekend, or a week-long stay down here in Northeast Florida? Well, guess what? Look no further than Salt Air Inn & Suites, 4 blocks from the water, 2 blocks from all the action. We are down at the corner this weekend, and Salt Air is a stone's throw, and it's absolutely fantastic. Visit saltair.com. If you need some help from my fractional CFO pal, well, Courtney Myers is the guy at Freedom Finance, freedomfinance.llc. You need help with your books, you need help with forecasts, you need help with raising funds. Courtney Myers is the guy at Freedom Finance. Again, freedomfinance.llc. If you're in the market for commercial real estate, or you own a building, or you're looking for help with land or whatever you need to get done in the commercial real estate world, we'll go to the #1 commercial real estate firm in the land, and that's Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, phoenixrealty.net, for all your commercial real estate needs, man. They are the best. I've known them for over 2 decades. Used to work for them. Wasn't my gig, but I tell you what, they are fantastic people and very good friends of mine. 904-399-5222. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's hot sauces. Of course they were on the table. Of course they were in all our food over the weekend. The Sriracha and Pineapple Ghost, my absolute favorite. But I tell you what, all their sauces are getting known for at the Scovie Awards, winning a bunch of awards and doing great work out there. Family Tradition SpecialtyFoods.com. Put in pound Team Tommy Mac and get a BOGO free, courtesy of just watching or listening to the show. And last but not least, the Baracus Group, on-demand security for you, your family, and or your business. Alarm goes off and you're away, and whatever, you don't want to call the police or what have you, the ring, and blah, blah, blah. You get the Baracus Group to come in. They've got a plan now for you, a monthly fee, less than $10, and they will be at your beck and call. There'll be further charges from there, but if you need help with anything, you got somebody on your property that's not supposed to be there, a trespasser, if you will. If you need your home alarm goes off and you're not home, whatever it may be, check out bgsjacks.com. Great to have them on board. Great to be part of 1010XL family, no doubt about that. All right, A.J. Cole, the Vegas Raiders punter, now the highest paid punter, 4 years, $15.8 million extension for the young man. He's now the highest paid punter. I just want to say congrats to Logan Cook in your future earnings as one of the top, if not the top punters in the game. A.J. Cole, first team All-Pro in 23, a net of 50.8, second in the NFL last year, 27 inside the 20. How about Logan Cook, though? 34 inside the 20 grammage for Logan Cook. So I'm assuming, and you're not supposed to because that makes an ass out of you and sometimes me, but I'm going to assume here that Logan Cook probably woke up and was like, yeah, because my next contract's going to be very nice and well-deserved. We have one of the best punters in the league. We have some of the 3 best specialists in the league, and if you went all 3, they might be the top 3 in the league if you counted Cam and Ross and Logan, right? So that could be very, very fun. I'm glad they are on our team. All right, I found our 2-way player other than Travis Hunter. And you know him very well because he's 6'6", 450 pounds. And Watson is Desmond Watson. Desmond Watson. Because this is what you're going to do. You're going to put him on the tush push. Who's going to stop him pushing the quarterback from behind? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to do that? And then you're going to put him against the tush push. And he's going to be your two-way player. And he's going to have a very important role of stopping. Did you know last year, I wrote it down, Grammage, 4th and 1 conversion rate in the NFL as a whole. Give me a guess.
4th and 1.
4th and 1 conversion rate. They got the first down.
So, like you're looking for a percentage?
Yep.
Out of 100. Okay. 80%.
Oh, it's 71%, but think about that. 7 out of 10 were converting on 4th down. That's a big move the chain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's another round of downs. Like, you got to figure something out.
Right.
This guy, I mean, they don't. I don't think they signed him. He's an undrafted free agent. I don't know if they signed him, for this. But hey, man, I'd want more of that. I really would. If that's his look, we all have specialties in the NFL. And I'm not saying you don't. Their biggest concern, I was reading up on him this morning, is how many plays can he make it?
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, like we need more than 2 or 3. I mean, it can't just be, play here, run you off, play there, run you. We gotta know that you can, your conditioning's good enough. I mean, look. I was looking at Refrigerator Perry. Okay, so when I was in high school, the fridge came to the Bears, and we used him as on goal line. I mean, he was like unstoppable. I remember the linebacker from I think it was the Patriots, tried to tackle him one-on-one. It was like he drove him into cement. It was brutally awful. Like how would you take that guy on? He was 6'2", 335. 6'6", 449. The evolution of the space eater. It's unbelievable. But what a great look. Again, I was watching his videos just moving and they're in mini camp or whatever. For a big guy, he can move. By the way, I wrote this down too. His vertical is 25 inches. That's 2 feet off the ground at 6'6", 450 pounds.
Yeah.
That's 2 feet, right? Roughly? Yeah. Are you effing kidding me? I mean, that is like I jumped 30 and a half. Like, I couldn't jump I don't know, I can't jump. I just couldn't jump. He could jump only 5 inches less than me. He's 200 pounds more than me.
He was always really able to move for his size really well at Florida. And he always played at a decently high snap count.
Yeah. No, he finished, I forget, like 13th in the nation, I think. So I think maybe he can. They just want to see it in concession, I guess.
In our bowl game, Gators played Tulane in the bowl game.
Yeah.
And it was on 4th and 1. They gave him a carry.
Yeah.
And he got the first down.
Yeah.
And he also, what you really need to look up is from 2 years ago now, they played South Carolina in the Swamp. And he made a tackle.
Yeah.
On the South Carolina running back, and he just ripped the ball right out. Just took the ball from him.
Uh-huh.
So he's got the ball and he's running with the ball.
Yeah.
And Spencer Rattler was a quarterback for South Carolina. He just stiff-armed him right into the ground and just kept running.
Yeah.
He eventually got tackled, but when you saw him in open space running, you couldn't believe how well this dude could move for being 450. It was unbelievable.
His 225 was 36 times, so he's also really strong. Now, you should be strong at that weight, right, and size, but still, that doesn't mean he doesn't have that upper body. Man, I tell you what, he's got a job. I mean, he's
100%.
He's got a job. Like, that guy, you're going to need that guy.
100%.
I think every team might need a guy like that if this is the way we're going.
So,
especially 4th downs. Look, 4th downs were never the thing.
Yeah.
Until a few years ago, 5 years, you didn't go for it on 4th down unless it was 4th and inches on the other side of the 50. Maybe later in the game, you need it, not playing it safe. I trust my defense, kind of thing. Now it's all the time.
Well, what it's really done too, Tommy, is it's unlocked play calling in that way because, historically speaking, because it was so much more rare to go for it on fourth down, typically if the head coach did decide, okay, we're going to go, unless it was late in the game and you had to type of thing, it was always a very reactionary decision.
Yeah.
And it was okay, we just kind of Momentum, we kind of think,
read the crowd.
We only need 2 yards here, we're at the 50, we really think we can get it, so we're going to, really roll the dice here and go for it. But now, we saw, obviously, the Eagles with the tush push and everything, and Sirianni's just very aggressive in general.
Yeah.
But like the Lions last year, and how often did we hear either Ben Johnson or Dan Campbell talk about how it's a mindset and how it's a philosophy of, okay, if it's 3rd and 5, Ben knows to call a play with the understanding that we'll go for it on 4.
Right, so I can get 4, I can get 3.
Right, and historically on 3rd and 5, that's always viewed as like, okay, this is a gotta have it down. We're gonna throw the ball 5+ yards. We've got to get it. Now I'm thinking, okay, I might hand it to David Montgomery and get 3 yards, and then 4th and 2, run something else or whatever. And it's just changed everything in that way in terms of when these offensive coordinators that are already great play callers, Liam Cohen included, when they know, of course, now he gets to call his own shots, but when you have that extra down in your back pocket to play with, how much more can you have at your arsenal each play? It's crazy.
Absolutely. And now, a lot of them, I think, are just good. I mean, you need your punter. There's no doubt. You're always going to need your punter. You got to pin them back a lot. Pinning them back is a huge part of the game. For field position and all that kind of thing, but we're going to evolve to continue to go for it on 4th down. So again, I think this Desmond Watson, he's got a shot at being a two-way player as well. It's a little different, obviously, but I think I would use him on both sides if that's what we needed, and that's what we were going to do. And hopefully he doesn't fat anybody to death, or they can't breathe for a few seconds. That would be pretty awful to go that way, but he's an athletic, big guy. I'm telling you right now, that when I saw the vertical, I was like, wow, just think about it. That's almost as tall as this table. You got to condition on your own. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You're only going 1 practice a day. You better be doing extra stuff throughout the week to make sure your wind is top notch.
And those practices are only so long.
They can only go right, and they can only condition you so much. You know what I mean? They try to use practice as conditioning. And in the heat, it is, but at the same time, and I'm not talking like we used to do, like 12 100s. I'm not talking like that. But a few gassers, couple gassers, there and back for time. Like, let's go, sprint, let's race, let's see who's the fastest.
At the end of practice, man. Yeah.
I don't got to kill you, but I got to make sure that heart and lungs, because God knows what you're doing back at the apartment. I don't know what you're doing, but regardless, we are going to exercise those things and make sure they are ready to rock and roll.
I think Devon Hamilton, Tommy, is a classic example of actual good versus Jaguar good. We've had that conversation before, and because Devon Hamilton, we're not saying Devon Hamilton sucks.
No, not at all.
We're not saying he doesn't belong in the league. We're not saying he cannot be a good contributor on this roster.
Right.
I think Devon Hamilton can be a very solid player on this Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line. That said, if he is your starting nose, if he's your starting one technique defensive lineman, you do not have a dominant nose.
No,
you don't.
He hasn't shown.
You don't have a guy, and we talk about this all the time. The litmus test to me is always, you always have to put it in the other team's shoes. Is this a guy that keeps offensive coordinators and offensive line coaches up at night? No. Not one O-line coach is like, Devon Hamilton.
In his defense, he's not a nose. He's not built to be a nose. He's just not. He's not.
I think he's a true defensive tackle in a 4-3.
Yeah.
That's to me what he is.
A 3 technique.
Yes.
Yeah, they got a lot of 3 techniques. Even Jordan Jefferson's more of a 3 technique. That's what Mason Smith's a better 3, or if they were in a 3-4, a better 5 technique. He'd be a monster 5 technique in a 3-4. So I don't know, man. Hopefully they don't need it. Hopefully we're wrong, but like we've been saying, we've been trying to get a nose tackle in here for many years. And I remember at first Doug just kind of, we're good. And we're like, man, you're not good. I'm telling you right now, you are not good. I will say this about Devon and the rest of the crew, so we know who the top tier is, right? Then you got Jefferson, who we don't know about yet. You got Devon, you got Lacey, you got Ledbetter. Devon, other than Jefferson, because I haven't seen enough. D-Ham's ahead of the other two, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
In my opinion. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's take a look around the National Football League real quick. Because two things I've found. One is a two-way player other than Travis Hunter, and another is the future for our punter, because the Raiders punter just got paid. Now the highest paid punter in the league. We'll talk about that in just a minute. NFL Look Around, brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Check them out, TommyMac.net. They're always there for you when needed. Hopefully nobody needed to get out of jail after Memorial Day weekend. But if you need to get out of jail, or someone that you know does, call 904-822-2245 and get out of jail today. Hopefully it's not too late. Now it's still in the morning. It can probably help you. Chris Lucero's Bail Bonds, always there for you when needed. Carpet Man Flooring for all your flooring needs. Hey, man, you never know. You have a little pipe burst, you got to replace some carpet, you got to replace some tile. You call Carpet Man. You sure do. You go to carpetman.biz or go to his two locations, one on St. John's Bluff Road and one in Orange Park. The highest quality flooring at the lowest prices. Hopefully you didn't get injured this weekend, playing flag football, playing, kick the can, whatever you were playing, naked twister, whatever it was, and you got hurt. Well, you call Morgan & Morgan, because they are the largest injury law firm in the entire world with the resources to handle your case. Go to forthepeople.com. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling for all your junk removal needs. Listen, you got to move, you want to disperse some things, you want to kind of filter some things out, let J-Dog come in and they'll take care of it all. They'll refurbish as much as they can and help families in need. Check them out at jdog.com. The Azar Sausage Group company, well represented in this weekend's festivities, because we had a low country boil. And guess who brought the sausage? That's right, I did. And it was fantastic. Hot and andouille. It was absolutely great, whether in your favorite dish or in a bun. Azar Sausage is the one. Get your kids out of your hair this summer and into Code Ninja summer camps, because they're going to learn all about coding, all about technology, all about security, everything. And they'll build their own video game while they're, and they get them outside running around and condition them a little bit. That's right. 5 great locations, all in Northeast Florida. Check out CodeNinjas.com. Hey, you want to get away for the night, the weekend, or a week-long stay down here in Northeast Florida? Well, guess what? Look no further than Salt Air Inn & Suites, 4 blocks from the water, 2 blocks from all the action. We are down at the corner this weekend, and Salt Air is a stone's throw, and it's absolutely fantastic. Visit saltair.com if you need some help from my fractional CFO pal. Well, Courtney Myers is the guy at Freedom Finance, freedomfinance.llc. You need help with your books, you need help with forecasts, you need help with raising funds. Courtney Myers is the guy at Freedom Finance. Again, freedomfinance.llc. If you're in the market for commercial real estate, or you own a building, or you're looking for help with land or whatever you need to get done in the commercial real estate world, we'll go to the #1 commercial real estate firm in the land, and that's Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, phoenixrealty.net, for all your commercial real estate needs, man. They are the best. I've known them for over 2 decades. Used to work for them. Wasn't my gig, but I tell you what, they are fantastic people and very good friends of mine. 904-399-5222. Family Tradition Specialty Foods, home of Coconut Joe's hot sauces. Of course they were on the table. Of course they were in all our food over the weekend. The Sriracha and Pineapple Ghost, my absolute favorite. But I tell you what, all their sauces are getting known for at the Scovie Awards, winning a bunch of awards and doing great work out there. Family Tradition SpecialtyFoods.com. Put in pound Team Tommy Mac and get a BOGO free, courtesy of just watching or listening to the show. And last but not least, the Baracus Group, on-demand security for you, your family, and or your business. Alarm goes off and you're away, and whatever. You don't want to call the police or what have you, the ring, and blah, blah, blah. You get the Baracus Group to come in. They've got a plan now for you, a monthly fee, less than $10, and they will pay you at your beck and call. There'll be further charges from there, but if you need help with anything, you got somebody on your property that's not supposed to be there, a trespasser, if you will. If you need your home alarm goes off and you're not home, whatever it may be, check out bgsjacks.com. Great to have them on board. Great to be part of 1010XL family. No doubt about that. All right, A.J. Cole, the Vegas Raiders punter. Now the highest paid punter. 4 years, $15.8 million extension for the young. For that guy, I'd like to see it. You know what I mean? So that's a powerful human being. And I think it is going to come down to, just how they utilize him. And I wish we had that. I don't know if we need that big, but I'd like a space seater like that he's tough to move. It makes the linebacker's job so much easier. Listen, go back to Ray Lewis. He even said, he's like, you got to let me be me. Like, I can't be bothered with taking on centers and guards. Put someone in front of me that I can roam. You don't want me hitting them. You want me hitting the back.
Yeah.
Or making a play in the air and a pass game. Look, and people... It's funny because, people see you, like they'll see, you're a big guy. I'm like, man, I'm not. You should see the big guys because they're like grizzly bears.
Yeah.
And if I ever had to wrestle them, I would lose every single time because they're massive human beings.
Yeah.
So on the football field, it's kind of the same thing. They get into you, they get their hands on you, and you're going to lose the wrestling match. So you want them off you. Forget those guys. I want that guy with the ball, and I get it. If we had that, look, and it's very simple logic, right? If the lineman gets double teamed and I keep that guy off you, then you better make the play. And if I don't keep him off you and the ball comes my way, I better make the play. That's how it's got to work. We both can't miss the play. Like the center can't reach me and the guard get off on you. Right? Or I haven't done my job. But if I give him a hard time getting off on you, and you come up before he can really get off, and you stuff that hole, you know what I mean? Or bounce outside and scrape to the outside, and he can never get to you, then the big guy's done his job. Very important.
The principles of a one technique is really more like an offensive lineman than a defensive lineman. Because you're really almost like blocking blockers.
Well, you see the defensive holding calls. That's what they're calling. You see them, right? When the defensive linemen get holding calls, they are holding that offensive lineman from getting off on their backer.
Because when that lineman's when he's trying to get to the second level to go get a linebacker, go find more work, get a linebacker, get a DB.
Right.
So that when the back is in that second level, he can hopefully turn a 5-yard run into a 55-yard run. Nope, you're coming back with me.
Yeah. But even in that, you brought back a memory, but even in that scenario, so when that guard comes out, and I'm playing backer, I'm looking at the back.
Yeah.
Because he may come out to block me, and that back cuts in. Well, I don't have to hit him. I just go to the back.
Right.
Forget him. You only got to hit the lineman when you need to, and that's when they're coming right at you. Other than that, you gotta get to that ball carrier and try to lay the wood. But I think again, that'll be fun to watch. Looking forward to watching our two-way player, Travis Hunter, get a lot of questions about him. I'm looking forward to seeing him out there. I don't know how much today will tell me, other than I'm sure he's wicked fast, which is great. I'm looking forward to seeing him run. Listen, I'm looking forward to Brian Thomas Jr., man. That guy should be floating with confidence. Are you kidding me? He's already considered one of the top wide receivers in the game. He's up and coming. He had a great year last year, a lot of experience, a lot of confidence. He should be like, man, this is my year. I'm glad we got Travis Hunter, but I'm coming in here. I'm number one. That's how he should be acting. Because to me, that's how it should be set up. Because he's going to run all the routes. We don't know if Travis will run them all. I think he will, but we got to see him run them all, right? We know Brian Thomas Jr., man, he can do it all. He can run the tree all day long and confidently. And you can feel confident throwing him the ball in traffic, over the middle, on a quick slant, on a middle dig, whatever it is, because he's shown you that he can run the right route and make the play. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then you get one-on-one with Travis and then Brown. I mean, I'm telling you, this kind of speed, man, you're going to understand why they went this route. If it all comes, to together with the QB putting it in the right spot every time, or most of the time.
It's interesting you bring this up, Tommy, because I was thinking about this the other day, and I knew this would be a conversation that you would be interested in, because you're always good about, especially since they've drafted Travis, to be like, don't forget about BTJ. Like,
no way,
don't forget about the best wide receiver on this roster by a mile.
Yep.
Even if Travis Hunter's really good. And, we could save this conversation maybe for another day to actually go through it, but I was curious, like, we did the Trevor thing, going through, like, who would you trade 1-for-1 with a quarterback?
Yep.
I think that list for Brian Thomas Jr. would be
Let's do it real quick. We only got a few minutes. That's a good one. Let's do it. So, Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Jefferson?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Tyreek, maybe? A healthy Tyreek?
Yeah,
you got to give him that.
Yeah.
DK?
No.
No. Okay. I'm just throwing it out.
Definitely not.
CD, I would say no.
Nope.
Pakua, I mean, he's up there, but I would take Brian Thomas Jr.
I think I would too.
All day long. Just because he's physically a freak of nature. Who am I missing?
If he was a little bit younger.
How about Mike Evans?
I was about to say, if he was probably a little bit younger, I'd say Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And I know it's not always age, but age kind of has to be a factor here. But
I don't know. I'd probably go Mike Evans just because he's still producing at a high level.
Yeah.
But I love BTJ. I'm not sending him anywhere. He's a total Jacksonville kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's like Jimmy. Jimmy was tough. I know all the touchdowns and all that, but at the end of the day, Jimmy Smith was physical and he was tough, man. And he wanted to win every snap. Yeah. That's a Jacksonville player, man, because I know that's how our fans are. And I think Brian Thomas Jr. is that kind of guy, too.
The point of it is I don't know that there's 5 receivers that you would trade straight up.
Anybody from Chicago? No. DJ? No.
I'd rather him more than DJ, more than Keenan Allen, more than Roman Dunze.
Who am I missing? Am I missing somebody? I feel like I'm missing a really big
We probably are, but and there might be like 1 or 2 obvious guys that we say.
How about Garrett Wilson? Jets?
I'd rather BTJ.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's great. I love him, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing him for sure.
I don't know if there's 5. Maybe there's 6 or 7 at most.
I don't think so.
I don't think there is.
I think there might be 4.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Maybe. And he's in that running for top 5. All right, that'll do it for us this time around here. You're going to catch it back on Friday. We'll be back on Catching Up with Tommy Mac on Friday morning. Catch me on Jaguars Today 10 a.m., tomorrow 10 a.m., and Friday 10 a.m. as well. Horse's Mouth on Thursday. Horse's Mouth out on the road on Friday as well. So looking forward to all of that and more. Hope you all have a great week. Please check out TommyMac.net. Please check out all of Team Tommy Mac there and all over social media when I post them. Appreciate you all so much for listening and watching. And to all you people, mostly gentlemen, came up and said they love watching the show. I truly appreciate it. You can always say hello to me no matter what, man. I always appreciate that. Y'all have a great day. Until next time, stay safe and be cool. Be cool and stay safe. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace.
Hey, Mia here, and thanks so much for watching 1010XL Jaguars. For even more coverage of the Big Cats, be sure to subscribe to 1010XL Jaguars.